Hello? So how is it? I'm trying to listen with my headphones on, but it's a bit of a head trip. Enjoy your meal, Kevin. It's a little quiet. I'm trying to see if I can add some gain to it, but I'm not sure. I don't know what half of the settings do. Oh, well. Well, we'll have to make do with this. Sorry about that. everyone. Hi. Yeah, I switched up the microphone. Hi Phoebe. Hi Trisha. Hi Kevin. Hi Lindsay. Hi April. I'm already tripping in my words. Hi Fairy Dust. Hi Misha. Hi Dominic. All right. Yeah, snowed in. We can still go outside, but it's been snowing all night and all morning. There is some very legit amount of snow outside. Everything is white. Hey, Yuri, hi. I'm not someone who talks really loudly in general, so it's always a bit of a thing I gotta remind myself when doing live streams. That I gotta talk a bit louder, perhaps. I wouldn't mind being snowed in if there was food and heat and electricity. Yeah, same. Oh, my tea's so hot. Hot tea. So, I don't have that much of a plan today either. Can only hear you with earbuds. As opposed to what? To on the speaker? Will there be cats though? The actual cats are fast asleep. So I don't know about that, but okay, I can try something, but there might be a bit of a background noise that comes in too, so let's see. What if I do this? It's supposed to be a bit louder now. I'm sorry if it's too loud, and headphone users are hating me for this. Hi Lee! Ooh, pancakes! Sounds awesome. So it's much louder, I guess. How's the background noise? If it's too loud, I can make it a bit quieter. No background noise, really. Hey, Sarah! Oh, that's great news. Awesome. Because this is my best mic, but I have zero clue how to work with audio. So I try stuff left and right, and I'm like, I hope this work. Tinny. Oh, good to know. I'll keep that in mind, even if I have no idea how or why. Maybe it's something in the settings or the no. I put in a noise gate to cut out all the background noise, and I checked an equalizer. I can uncheck the equalizer thingy. Let's remove that one. All right. Feel free to mess around with your audio when you start your streams. Well, thank you guys. I'm glad you don't mind a bit of a troubleshooting in the beginning. So Amisha says, I think it's just a lot of life hitting plus the holiday plus I've just been in a lump for 2 weeks. And Phoebe says that she's been feeling the same. And I think it's maybe a lot of us are feeling like that. I'm doing my best to take a break from drawing at the moment, except for Patreon stuff. But it's weird. I'm so used. Hey, Mikey! Hi! I'm so used to, like, drawing anyway. That's how I would sum it up. Like, regardless of the situation, you draw anyway. So I kind of have to catch myself sometime being like, oh, I could watch this movie and draw at the same time. And I'm like, you're supposed to take a break to fully assess and give your brain a rest from all this, but draw anyway. Not as sad. I can feel it a warm ball of lump with no real desire to Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of energy goes into the holidays and also politics. There is one thing I know I do that is really a bad habit that I'm trying to step away from. It's to fall upon someone's artwork that I really like, someone's work, and I get sort of obsessed by it, and I kind of want to try doing what they do to see if I can learn anything from that. But that's usually not a really good thing because it often means like buying new supplies, and quite often by the time the supplies get here, I've kind of lost steam, and then I have a pile of supplies that I don't touch. I've been eating nothing but Panera soup for like the last 2 weeks. Oh, soup is great. I don't know if we have Panera bread here in Canada. Maybe you should attempt what they do with what you have and wing it. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should flex my creative muscles and try to bank on, like, how can I try to do that with what I already have? But yeah, my brain tends to fall into the trap of thinking that I need the exact same supplies or it won't work. I think it's one part of this bad habit comes from being self-taught, because you have an experience of learning that is basically that. Like, you get a bunch of stuff and you play with it. Hey, Lena! Oh no, Yuri, I'm so sorry. When are you moving stables? And maybe be kind if it looks ugly as well. You can use the excuse that you don't have all the tools. That's a really good backup plan. I tried doing what this person does and it's really bad, but maybe it's because I don't have the exact tools. But then again, I would probably like convince myself that I gotta buy these tools, which is not a good habit. Hey Val, hi. So not much happened last week. I worked on a third color to add to sorry. I think if you buy more stuff, maybe try to find more than one reason to get it. Kind of like multi-purposing those new items. That's a really good point. So where did I put it? Wow, that was far into swatches. So you guys remember these from last week? So I called this one Ash in the end. And I got a new one. It's hard to see what color it is, but it's basically this color here. I think this one is going to be called Mist. I was feeling weird not having like a trio of colors together. I was like, yeah, sure, I can have just these two, but it kind of felt like it was missing something. Top swatch looks like... Hold on, who... What? Trisha Cat? What? I'm out of my drawing funk though. That's really nice. Right now I'm trying to paint FK in the style of George Stubbs. Ooh, interesting. I received my set of Schminke watercolors along with an apology. They sent you an apology? USPS sent you an apology. Wow. Did you get to swatching them? Yeah, this one is fun. I love it. So yeah. I worked on a video last week too, but it was the video on the paint by number kit. And I sent it in and I haven't heard from them back. And I guess I gotta wait for their approval before I can put the video on public. My paints from Cheap Joe's came last week, so that was nice. They sent me a $100 wine voucher with it for some reason. I hope you like wine. I got to eat the best falafels and hummus last week. That was a really nice moment. Hey, Sarah Constance, hi. We have 2 Sarahs in the chat. I think, maybe more. Oh, interesting. So Dominic says, I just got my 5-yard roll of heavy-duty paper. It arrived about 10 days early. Mom said it was because it was just a huge order and that it arrived early. Small packages tend to arrive late. Yeah, I guess they have a lot more small packages to sort out and send on their way. Not old enough to drink, so I gave it to my parents. Oh, you're a kiddo! I am old! I'm definitely old enough to drink, but I don't like drinking. Alcohol, I mean. Everything else, like tea, water, good, but alcohol, eh. No, I was doing that when my hubby came in and said, Caturday starts in 1 minute. Aw! Are wine and painting parties an actual thing? The closest thing I drank to wine is grape juice. Wine is basically grape juice that you forget somewhere in a vat. Hey, Malvina! Hi! I am quite allergic to the sulfites in wine. I think the last time I had a sip of champagne was 1991. Ooh. Well, you're not missing much. They are in the Okanagan. That's the region of Ontario that grows all the fruits and grapes and like pears, peaches, apples, grapes. It's a valley, I think, right? My family allows kids to drink early, but it's usually during the holidays. The bars along the waterfronts have paint nights. Really? That weird. What a mess it must be. How many people mistake their glass of wine for their paint water, do you think? I don't drink though, but I think it's mostly because I'm picky. Well, the thing is, oh, Okanagan is in BC. Whoops. Why did I think it was in Ontario? Yeah, geography. Hmm. Painting and wine parties are a thing primarily aimed at these soccer moms said. A chance to eat fancy finger food, drink wine, and gossip. The paint nights are $60 or $80 to attend for one night. Whoa. Did Casey Golden paint with wine? She painted with so many weird things. Ah, that's warm and good. Sort of like a Tupperware party, but you only pay for the stuff to make the one paint. Oh. I've painted with instant coffee before as far as drinks and coffee go. How did that go, Sarah? Drinks and art. Sorry, thinking about coffee. Coffee gives me like a stomachache every time I drink it, which is a bit of a bummer. I still do sometimes, but like I make sure that I drink a lot more water than usual on that day, in the hopes that it will help. Okay, so I have the same issue. My stomach is very sensitive when it comes to coffee. Yeah, there's stomach, and I think my okay, it's not gross, but like I think my bladder really doesn't like coffee. Like it kind of hurts when I drink coffee, and I'm like, why? It was really funny. The mastone of the coffee got pretty gummy, so it was limited in value, but still worthwhile experience. Yeah, you would think like instant coffee is really like tacky for some reason. It's my tongue that rejects coffee, much to my nose's Aww. Can you, Amisha, can you have like, let's say coffee ice cream or a cake that would have some coffee flavored buttercream or something? Yeah, it's not exactly fun, Phoebe. I have IBS and it makes coffee. Oh, dude. Even without any like intestinal issues, coffee is what do they call it? A stimulant. So yeah, it's even on a good day, it can be a bit of a bit too much, if I can say that. Same for me, Ev. My belly doesn't like it, but it tastes so good. It does taste good. That makes sense. Coffee is a diuretic, so it will make you pee more. Yeah, maybe I should like really like the same way when someone is like drunk, you told them to drink a lot of water, but I should do the same with coffee. Have my glass of coffee and my glass of water and dual wield. Ooh, instant coffee is good for the dalgona coffee. Yeah, definitely. It's also really handy to have for if you want to make coffee flavored things, like mostly desserts, like icing, cake, whatever. You can flavor ice cream with it. Adding a fair bit of milk or other things helps make it. Oh, that's a fair point. Mikey says coffee is very acidic. So if you have any issues with your belly or intestine, you're going to have it if you drink coffee. Poor digestive tract. It's weird that you can whip instant coffee into the cream like. Yeah, really. Dalgona coffee, April, I don't know if you remember, that was kind of a trend at some point where you would mix sugar, instant coffee, and a tiny bit of water and whip it until it became like foamy, like a mousse. And since it's like super concentrated coffee, you basically pour it over just like a glass that has ice and some sort of milk in there. And it's kind of a special fancy drink. Hey, Ellen! Oh my gosh! A very long time no see. I've been thinking about you. How have you been? I've been, like I was drinking the teas you sent me and kept thinking like, oh, I hope Ellen is okay. I don't like mocha flavors or even tiramisu. Blasphemy. But I like Kaluha, strong coffee liquor straight. Oh, wow. It's been a long year. Oh, well, we're super glad to have you back in here. Yeah, it's been a messed up year for sure. It's nice to hear. I've just been working to try and combat anxiety. Creativity, pretty much non-existent. Well, it's just good to hear from you. And if you ever need to rant or ramble or talk to someone, you can hop on the Discord over there. there's a lot of support going on over there, so it's a good place to get some help and possibly share the load of the anxiety or stress or whatever. It's funny, we were talking about being in an art slump earlier in the stream, so totally understand the lack of creativity. Most of my creativity has gone into making pies during the holidays. It's making food. I don't like cooking, okay, so disclaimer. But since Mr. E was on holiday as well, he helped me make things, and that kind of made it more fun for me too. Sorry. And yeah, and creating. I keep having hiccups. Creating stuff like food, or let's say you enjoy knitting, just knitting mindlessly, it's still a good. To me, that's kind of an in-between feel-good thing, because you still create something, but you don't necessarily have to invest a lot of brain energy into it. In the case of knitting and crochet, it's basically either following a pattern, or you can just basically take a bunch of yarn and knit or crochet something, like just straight up. And it's still it's a good feeling because you put your energy into something that has a concrete result, either something that you can wear or give or eat. So that's kind of a good sort of step. You're always welcome here, Ellen. Always hugs, snuggles, ear screeches, group howling going on around the world. Yeah, a lot of hair pulling too. Yeah, I have lurked in the last weeks. I tend to go to ground when I'm feeling low. A lot of obsessive juice. Yeah, puzzles are great too. Puzzles are the same kind of thing that you don't necessarily have to think really hard, but in the end you've completed the thing. So you get a result. Because I think for most creative people, if you don't find a sort of outlet to channel a bit of it into something, it doesn't feel any better. Like, that stuff has to go somewhere. I'm always a bit shocked when I stumble upon people who don't have any hobbies, because I'm like, what do you do between meals if you don't have work? Like, it's mind-boggling. Oh, speaking of puzzles, I saw one yesterday that really cracked me up. It was labeled something like the most hellish puzzle, and it was a 1,000 pieces puzzle of small pieces, and the art on it is nothing. It's white. And it was like, oh my gosh, can you imagine? And in the description, it was written cute and collectible, and I was like, what? How is that cute? And how is that collectible? Oh, that's a good thing, Amisha. Amisha says, I do that too, Ellen. I shrink the world I interact with until it's a size I can manage again, and then slowly add things back. Yeah, that's a really good way. It's like too much of the world was eating my brain. Yeah. Hey, Boxa Paint. Hi. Ooh, a sewing machine. So what are you sewing? Well, we used to sell that one. Really? Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. Were people actually buying it? But missing my face. Yeah. But sometimes it's good. Sometimes when you come back to it, you feel a lot more invigorated and like inspired, and like a lot more of that. It's like all the energy you put in is better used than if you don't take a break every once in a while, I think. Yes, mainly as a vengeance gift for the one person in the family or a friend was... Oh yeah? You're good at puzzles? Here, do this one. Let me know how that goes. That's awesome. I finished a sketchbook. Well, I don't know if it counts because most of it is swatches. I will do a video with kind of a flip through. It's a lot of swatching and a few doodles. I got to try Archambault paints, and oh, they're so pretty, guys. Bit of swatching of that. That was, I don't remember. What was that? Color mix. That's the M. Graham paints I have. Pressure full, it counts. Oddly enough, this is the kind of sketchbook that you can sort of keep around because sometimes you're like, oh, I don't remember what color would work for this idea I have, and so you can go back to where you swatched things and be like, oh, okay, I need this one, and then get on with your things. I'm trying to remember how it's been 25 years or so. Lots of little storage bags and placemats. I didn't carry them. No, that's completely understandable. The flat banana one was just a solid yellow. And Misha, I was talking about a puzzle that is 1,000 pieces and is just plain white. Yeah, my poor neglected M. Graham palette, honestly. Because it's beautiful. The colors are amazing. But the palette is so big that I almost never dig it out. They have like awesome greens. Really liking these. That one you saw, these you saw as well. It was the Peerless colors. That's the new Roman Schmal. And that's the old Roman Schmal that I have. Old. You know. The white pieces are abstract. Definitely. That was me trying a bunch of pen nibs. That's the other thing I tried out. Doodles, swatches, attempts. Sometimes I don't remember what was what. That's definitely waterproof tests. There's just a bunch of other tests and doodles. Trying to see which inks are completely waterproof and which aren't. Terry Harrison's paints. I think that is perfectly reasonable box of paint. That's why I always use the hook for a person. Seriously, I remember being so confused whenever I would get into a public bathroom and there would be no hook. Because no way I mean, even if a purse is not the cleanest of objects, I'm not gonna put it on the bathroom floor. Are you kidding me? That's entirely too gross. I think that flat banana one was over 1,000 pieces too. I know it basically cured my sister puzzle. With all white puzzles though, you can put it together, paint or draw on it, and give it as a gift or keep it. Oh, that's a good idea. Dominic says, my experience with M. Graham is that the pigment isn't as fine as other brands, but they're very vibrant if you dip your brush into them. Definitely need to mix them up on a palette. Yeah, they never really dry, so if you put your brush in there, it's gonna come out like with way too much paint. The thing that I really like about their range is that there is difference between the pigments. In some ranges, you often end up with a bunch of color that kind of look the same. But I think that M. Graham has something really, really nice going on with all the variations, even if they're super subtle. This is a page where the sketchbook came apart. So I used some framing tape to put it back together. Weird stuff that didn't work out. That was when I tried to reproduce the Chinese color palettes, the one that I had with Western colors. More studies and doodles. More swatching. One of the few rare drawings in there. Not the same. The squash. And that's it. Hey, Paulo! Hello! I have a retirement project puzzle for someday. It's 5,000 pieces. And the Tower of Babel by Bruegel. Ooh! We have had disking at work, so give me some peace of mind when I finish. What is hot disking? Am I missing something? There's a Cuban superstition that if you put your purse on the ground, all the money will run. Oh man, that would explain so many things. Oof, I've never set anything on the floor of a bathroom. I'm scarred from all the dirty bathroom. I know, right? It's a recurring nightmare I have. Like, I think it's a nightmare that is induced by having to go to the bathroom, but still being asleep. And it's always like my brain comes up with the dirtiest bathrooms, the most impossible bathrooms ever. And it's just like you wake up and there's a good few seconds of like, what was that? Why? I felt my pulse in my I felt it on my lap while using the public bathroom because I'm like, no way. That's like the cowboy thing about never putting your hat on the bed. And if you absolutely have to, make sure it's upside down or all the luck. Oh, I love it. Hey, Sally. Hi. Bonjour. So what kind of thing that is not necessarily drawing that you guys would like to see today? Is there anything you would like me to swatch or mix or... Yeah, same rule for horseshoe. That one I knew. That if you put the horseshoe like downward, all the rug will run out of it, will fall from it. So that's why you had a horseshoe over doors, like with like a U. A U? Yeah. I literally spend more time aligning the toilet paper on the seat perfectly than actually doing my business. Yes, you try to cover everything, and most public restrooms, the flush is like so overpowered that there's always water and whatever everywhere. So you have to use a good length of tape just trying to dry everything up without activating the flush again, because it's a magic eye thing. I used to work as a custodian both in hotels and schools. Good grief, Ellen. The devil will sit in it. I've also heard about horseshoes that, like if they were made from iron, you could put them over your door so that the fairy folk wouldn't come in and possibly changeling your baby. Okay, not too dark. I survived, and I think it made me a more considerate person for cleaners in general. Seriously. Gas station bathrooms. Oh, gee. Oof. Most public restrooms don't even have a lid. So you kind of have to sort of flush and then run out. But the stalls are so tiny. I'm not a particularly large person, but like you cannot, like you enter and you have to turn around, and it's almost impossible to turn around and close the door without touching something. Oh, geez, Lindsay, that's nightmarish. Ew, in the kitchen. Oh man. You're good that you didn't call the health inspector for that. If you ever have to drive to Texas, find a Buc-ee's. They have amazing snacks and they keep their bathroom pristine. Ooh. Respect. Ah, kitchen, dude. That's what I don't get about people who complain when they're told to put the toilet seat down when they're done. You're supposed to close the lid before you flush. It's not about, it's having to lift it up next time they have to go. Because why? Let's just squeegee all this down the drain and move on. Yep. I worked in a kitchen too, just not gonna talk about toilets, but working in a kitchen really enlightens your perspective on restaurants after that. Like, I was working in a fancy-ish restaurant, and seeing what happens in the kitchen and how everything is sort of managed and all that really really taught me a lot. I should have called the health inspector. That was supposed 5-star result. Oof. I can vouch for Buc-ee's. Many steps I've taken there, all road to bring. Ooh. Hey, have a good walk, Kevin. Wait, he got stuck under my bed. His butt was too big. Oh no. Hey, Cyan. Hi. What? How am I an hour late? No. Oh, it's okay. Anthony Bourdain. Bourdain. It's a weird name when you speak both English and French. Like, you're like, am I supposed to say Bourdain or have an accent? And it's a great bit about working in the kitchen, how it teaches the soft skills like punctuality, ability to, dude. Not if kitchen nightmares is a thing to go by. Oh my gosh. Absorb criticism. Oh, it's fine. Just I never know how to say it. Let's find some paint. I would have definitely cried 100 times if I were on Hell's Kitchen. You kind of made me think of those people who are tortured. Yeah. Yeah, the kind of weird limit between being really good at something and being so so emotional about things. All right, I'll go get some water. I'll be right back. Oh no, Cyan. I was going to do some cables, but soldering and watching videos don't go well together. Nope. Those are bad kitchens. Good ones will teach you and reward effort. The last meritocracy. I was a waitress at a truck stop for a while. That was a really interesting experience, to put it mildly. Oh no. Oh no, what happened? Yeah, wait, what? I imagine part of Hell's Kitchen. Well, I mean, not necessarily Hell's Kitchen. I was referring to Hell's Kitchen Nightmares. And Kitchen Nightmare is the show about where Gordon goes into restaurants that are failing and tries to fix them. And it usually starts with him trying out the food from the restaurant. And it's oh, I'm sorry. Ugh. Bet Mikey, some of those truckers had ew. Most reality shows have little to do with reality. Wow. Kitchen Nightmare is so fun to watch. Yeah. It's one part fun and one part cringe. So what am I gonna be swatching on now that my sketchbook is full? Can't really grab another one because they are kind of far. Hold on. Headphone users, watch out. I will try not to make any noise, but I'm venturing under the table, so who knows. Oh, that was easy. Mikey, I'm sorry, what? I've seen Kitchen Nightmares, Hell's Kitchen, Hotel Hell, MasterChef, and the F word. Well, is Hotel Hell the one where Gordon goes into hotels as well? I worked in a Kitchen Nightmare. They went out of business 2 weeks. Was it an actual restaurant that was on Kitchen Nightmare? Those kitchens do give nightmares. Fair. I'll use those two. Cringe, I worked in too many good, clean kitchens. It was hard. The bosses sometimes sucked. Your egos and BS. But man, the places were clean. Yeah. Yeah, he helps falling out. Yeah. I saw that one. Well, Dominic says, I used to like Gordon Ramsay, but I feel like he's toned down quite a bit since his early years, which I can't blame him. All that anger must be horrible for his blood pressure. Oh man, I now have to think twice before eating out. Seriously. Oops. Did I just wipe my brush on my microphone? You betcha. Okay, so what I have here is the Winsor & Newton, what was it, the Twilight and the Desert. Oh, typos are fine, as long as you don't mind me trying to figure it out. Even the Super Momofuku. Oh. What's that phone? I can imagine why most women aren't in a professional kitchen because of it. Oof. I think Gordon Ramsay has just become numb to all the BS he's seen. So now he's more disappointed than angry. It's gotta be really draining. Can you imagine? Like, I mean, say what you will, I think Gordon is really passionate about cooking. And I think it would be really hard to argue against that. So can you imagine having that level of passion for something and going to places after places where people just don't give a crap? Like how much of your energy it's gotta like drain out of you. It's not accidentally wiping the brush on the mic, it's inadvertent ASMR. I'm glad. Those are Winsor & Newton. This is the Twilight set, I think. And here the other set I have in my palette is the other special release colors. Guys, hands are hard to draw. No arguing about that. It's got one of my favorite black colors because it's not fully black. It's super granulating, I think, and it's a warm black bit. It's beautiful. Anthony Bourdain probably did at some point. There are a lot of high-functioning alcoholics and rage-wearing chef whites, but angry chef like Gordon Ramsay are hardly new. Yeah, definitely. Like, if Gordon came across as not passionate about cooking, I think he would be unbearable. But since his outrage is mostly comes from a place of like, why don't you do this the proper way? Like, why are you not as passionate about this stuff as I am? What's wrong with you? You call yourself a chef? But I kind of see it a bit more, though sometimes he definitely has anger issues that cross the line. Paws are easier than hands. As long as they're fluffy paws. I would be happy if I could get the hand to look remotely like a starfish. Aww. My first drawings that I did, I would hide the hands, like put them in pockets behind the character's back. No matter how much I would try to reference or copy a hand pose, it would necessarily come out like gnarly. The only thing I've done that has actually helped me draw hands is when I worked on a specific TV show. And I had to draw so many hands all the time. And that's when it sort of became really easy. I might be out of practice, but I remember having a moment where I was like, oh, hold on, I'm not struggling as much. What's happening? The only way to draw hands well is to just keep doing it over and over and over. Yep. Oh yeah. Yep. Like, you have a hand, like, to observe it when you move it, see where everything falls, everything, like, gets, is also a really useful exercise. Oh, that's such a beautiful color, guys. Oh, the transparent orange is so pretty. Hence my nemesis. I still hide them. I also heard Ramsay gets really angry due to the ego and arrogance of some of the chefs he met. I really cannot blame him for that. Especially on stuff like Kitchen Nightmares. There are some unbelievably unbearable chefs on there that I'm really surprised that it didn't come to punches. Hey, thank you for being here, Phoebe. Have a great weekend. I love Bean. That's such a cute nickname, Bean. Are those paints as opaque as they look on the screen? Depends which one. They're not that opaque. It's just that I really like to lay a color down really strongly. This one is transparent, I think. I think this purple is too... This is smalt blue. This one I remember, so it has a bit of a texture, so maybe semi-opaque. This is the aqua green. I think it's fairly transparent. This is a chrome or cobalt based color, so it probably has a bit of opacity. That's a black, so I don't know. I think both of these, the yellow and the light brown, are semi-opaque. This is transparent orange. This is a transparent brown. And the other brown I have, I think, is semi-opaque, and the last blue is transparent because it's a phthalo blue. The story of Ramsay and Marco Pierre White is hilarious. Who's Marco Pierre White? I think anatomy is like physical therapy. It's difficult, painful, and progress is only incremental. It's a necessary form of torture. Aww. Oh yeah, that's opaque AF. That's so nice though. It's like... watercolor is awesome, guys. Marco Pierre White was another rogue chef type. Marco Pierre White was the original bad boy cook, and he trained Gordon. Oh, dude, wow, what a combo. It is said that he was the only chef that made Gordon cry. Oh no, let's have photos of him giving the camera the finger. Oh man, can you imagine working under that guy? I feel like each of these set on its own is somewhat lacking. I mean, it's interesting, but you cannot use only the set unless you have a really specific color scheme in mind. But if you combine these 6 colors with these 6 colors, you kind of get something that is super interesting, in my opinion anyway. Quiz question: how many of us have one or more cats on our laps right now? I don't have any. I have White Heat by Marco Pierre White. There's a reason I gave up kitchen work. Yeah. Wait, what? Gordon stole the reservation book from Marco's restaurant and rode off on a lambretta. What's a lambretta? After leaving the restaurant. That sounds hilarious. Can you imagine? Mine are busy terrorizing the dogs by play fighting. Oh, how are Bear and Emmy doing? I only have my dog Zoo staring at my chicken nuggets. It's a bike like a Vespa. Oh, okay, okay. Mine just convinced my mom to take her outside on a walk. Aw. Hey, Sam! Hi! One is very famous of him with the baby shark on his arm. What? Hemi has finally decided that we are really worthy. She and Hubs are two peas in a pod, and Bear has turned into full-fledged. Oh, what? Emmy, what a sweetheart. Oh, we need more photos of Emmy. I miss those green eyes. And Bear's floof. I'll post a pic in, yeah, by all means. It's on the sharing recipe. Awesome, good idea. Hemi has put on a fair bit of weight and she's adorably round. Oh, that's good. She was really teeny tiny, right? What green is that? Do you mean my mix or... Well, it is a mix of... Wait, it is a mix of the aqua green and the yellow. My grandbaby is 4 and has a tablet. I know that one a little too. Oh my gosh. The first one at the bottom right. This one here. Right? No, right. This. I know my left from my right. Sure. Yeah, it's the yellow and like this yellow here and this green here. Those are really nice greens. I think it's a bit of a bummer that they kind of have these colors only on a limited edition basis. Because they're great colors. They're lovely. Yeah, those are Winsor & Newton paints. Oh, I'm glad, Amisha. I'm sorry it's not exactly like super riveting content depending on the person, but I know I like swatching a lot. And it has taken me some time to accept that swatching colors is a very valid use of a sketchbook. Like I would feel kind of like, oh, don't swatch colors in your good sketchbook because you're sort of wasting that space. And I'm like, yeah, but oh wow. Hey Lee, most of them have been introduced into the regular line. I don't think they have introduced the black though. I gotta say, I think I stashed up on that black a lot. At some point they were like on super duper discount on Jackson's, so I bought a bunch. Winsor Newton, oi, not sure who is running their marketing nowadays, but hoof. I haven't liked dealing with them since they retired myself. Yeah. Sorry I stepped away, but didn't they rerun those colors like mid last year? Yeah, I think they released some of them. The Smalt Blue is definitely part of the full line. The Aqua Green is as well. Transparent Orange also is. The Phthalo Sapphire is. As for the other ones, I don't quite remember. Introduce the jewel colors into regular line. Ah, they didn't introduce the, well, the jewel colors plus that transparent orange. What's the purple? Which one? The plain swatch or the mix? Hey Alex. Plain. It's a quinacridone color. Hold on. Ow. It's Quin Violet. Or quinacridone purple? Violet? Purple? Yeah, the transparent orange was part of the dessert. I don't know how to say it. I know how to write it. Like I know the word, like the difference between dessert and dessert. But when it comes to saying it, I'm like, hold on. That's Chromium Black. That's the black. Sanguine Red. That's the red. Phthalo Sapphire. Gold Brown. That's one of the other set. More Chromium Black. Oh. Indian Red Deep. That's PBR 25, I think. Yeah. So it's this one here. Indian Red Deep. No, that's the same one. Smalt. Yellow Titanate. So that's yellow Titanate and that's gold brown. That's the, no, that's not the purple color. Dark brown. Dark brown is this one here. That's the Phthalo Sapphire. How I get that? Yes. Queen Violet. What am I missing? Hold on, no, wait. Phthalo Sapphire goes here. Cobalt Green Deep, Aqua Green, Transparent Orange. All right. Desert. All right. In Brazil, that small set of Winsor Newton with 12 colors is around $40. While in the UK, it was like £12. £12 with the current currency exchange rate is a lot of money. Winsor Newton are not that bad if you get them with a coupon, I agree, or at Jackson's. So yeah, okay, so yellow titanate, that's PBR 24. Gold brown, that's PBK 12. Interesting. Indian red deep, we checked that one is PBR 25. The dark brown is it's a yellow pigment. Well, unless they kind of had a typo there, because Winsor Newton has a lot of typos on their packaging. It's PY164. Phthalo Sapphire is PB15 colon 6. And the transparent orange is Pigment Orange 107. And here we have Sanguine Red, which is PR187. Chromium Black, which is a brown pigment, huh? PBR 29. Smalt, PV15. Quinacridone Violet, PV55. Cobalt Green Deep, PG26. And Aqua has no pigment. Yeah, so they're all single pigment. So Winsor and Newton, you had a great idea with these. Please continue. Had new colors in your range with fun releases like that. Why not? All the other brands do it. Why do you have to be so stuck up about what you add to your range, really? Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. I think Magello introduced a chromium black with the same pigment recently. Ooh, good to know. I love this green. Yes. Nice. Ooh, that's nice too. Oh man, these are nice. And since they're a mix of two transparent colors, there's a really nice depth to the mix. That's good. I'm sad that I can get a free sample of Magello paints. I went to their website, but getting free samples is bugged or something. Oh no! I mean, hit up the Discord and maybe in the... what's the name of the channel? The supply swap channel. Maybe someone can put together a dot sheet for you. Who knows? What I love of these greens is that as they dry, you can sort of see how the yellow titanate that is opaque and that has like a form of granulation, how it doesn't settle in the same way as the aqua green, which is transparent, so has a lot of texture going on. Loving this. Are you trying to get the Core Mini, Paolo? Oh, that's nice. Wow, that's a good neutral. I'm wary about confrontation with service. I was pleasantly surprised when I messaged M. Graham about... Dude, M. Graham are the sweetest. I think they have... So far, they win the prize for, like, nicest company to deal with, honestly. I really like the yellow titanate. I think this one, the PB... Since it's PBR 24, if Winsor & Newton doesn't have it permanently now, it's available from other brands too. So that's not too much of a bummer. I think opaque colors and watercolor get a really bad rap, but there's really something interesting when mixing colors if you combine an opaque color with a very transparent color. My water is so dirty. First watching, it's not really a problem, but oof. Oh yeah, that's nice too. Nice dark blue. Yes, even darker. Thank you so much, Lindsay. I'm glad you like my mixing. Learning how to complain is important. If you can maintain calm and politeness, you usually get far. It's been an ongoing difficulty for me, but I'm getting the hang of it. Oh no, really, Dominic? I'm so sorry. Yeah, the Renaissance paints are really nice, but they're very melty. When I have to confront customer service, unless the person is actually like in unbelievably rude, that's another story. But I always try to keep in mind that like it's not because of them, and that if you can present the problem to them, they will help you get a resolution. So yeah, it's an interaction more than a confrontation. Good point. This looks like chocolate. Perhaps I'm hungry. Oops. Ooh. I'm just very shy, and I usually need a big push when I need customer service. It's a habit because my mom is the type to ask a lot of needless questions. I prefer some preparedness. It's always good to have notes. Like seriously, if you can have like a bullet list of things that you want to address or need to ask, that's super helpful. And yeah, I think a lot of us in chat are in a similar situation than you. Like, I don't like calling customer service either, especially when you have to hold for forever. Ugh. But yeah, it's sometimes it's easier. But yeah, if there's an email option or something, I'll go through that first. I always judge a customer service team by their whole music and how frequently they have their recorded message repeat itself. Like, if it repeats every 20 seconds, they want you to go mad. I think it's just a leap before you look kind of mentally. Okay, yeah. Like, procrastinating until you cannot procrastinate anymore is a really good motivator. You're like, I don't want to call them now. I don't want to call them now. And then at some point you're like, oh, the warranty expires next week. Well, I'm gonna call them right away. All right, I'll go change water and yeah, be right back. right. I'm a professional procrastinator at this point with 60 years experience. Hey, thank you so much for being here, Mikey. Have a great weekend. So, well, this is full. Let's grab a piece of rough paper. Or two. All right. kind of miss Otto and our good question to ask the chat today. So what was the most delicious thing you ate last week? There. Or it can be the most satisfying thing, like the thing you ate that gave you the most comfort. A burger from Wendy's. Ooh. I'm not very knowledgeable about fast foods. Is Otto doing okay? Yeah, she is. I think she just has a bit of a scheduling conflict on Saturdays. Mother-in-law had awesome rolled up cake with whipped cream and raspberry. Ooh! It's like that's a sponge cake that's rolled up, and inside you have the whipped cream and the fruits. That's a nice light dessert. I made French toast last night with cinnamon, apples, and blueberries smothered in apple syrup. Apple? Maple. That sounds amazing. Oh man, French toast. Boost, I guess. I'm still not able to eat. But I'm glad you found something that helps, Lindsay. Seriously. Well, light. I hate 4 slices. Well, you know what I mean. It's not a chocolate cake with ganache. Amisha says the broiled tuna steaks and sauteed garlic green beans. My son. Ooh, wow. Dude, that sounds fancy. Lee says I'm eating sourdough banana pancakes right now. Ooh, with maple syrup, I hope. Trisha says, this week I made a veggie sauce for some noodles with onions, celery, tomatoes, milk, butter, garlic, and cheese. Ooh. Well, you don't need... Well, it's always perhaps fun to combine, but if you have milk, butter, and cheese in there, that's good. Yes, of course, local maple syrup. Ooh. Ah, that sounds amazing. Mr. E had waffles for brunch because his job sent him a fun kit that had a waffle mix in there. Long story. But they had like dried milk in there, so not something I could eat. So I was looking longingly at the waffles, and I was like, I'm gonna have to cook waffles soon. I love waffles. I did strongly suggest to Handsome that we have all the ingredients to make some pancakes and bacon. Ooh. Still hasn't been inspired enough to make me breakfast. Understandable. I hate veggies, so I'm trying to find dishes that make them taste good. Ooh. Do you do soups? Or like potage? I love Belgian waffles. Yeast is the best. What? I think I prefer handmade waffles because they're a bit more fluffy and less dense. I don't own... Well, I used to only have a panini bread machine, but now that the company has produced waffle plates for it, so you can switch out the regular or the streaky plates for waffle plates. So it doubles as a waffle maker too. My waffle maker is the Captain America Shield one. That exists? Dude. I need that. I need that. And then you what? You have like dang, so many stupid ideas in my brain right now. Oh, interesting. interesting. Oh, I have a similar machine. I love it since it's one machine and 3 sets of plate. Exactly. I same. We have the plates. It can be used as a panini, like something that you fold over to squish, or you can sort of lay it out flat and use as a griddle. But we mostly use it for panini, and I made portobello caps on there, and it worked really well. Like for when you want burger but not meat in there, you can take a portobello cap and you just have to wash it, remove the stem, slice up the top a bit, and put in a panini grill, and you press it. And yeah, there's a set of plate that's just straight. There's a set of plate that's the like the lines, and there's the waffles, and the waffles is definitely the best set of plate. I recently discovered that sourdough starter is a great hack for perfectly fluffy pancakes. That's awesome. Alex says we have 2 waffle makers, a gluten-free one and a D20. Okay, that's good. What's the gluten-free one? Is it like dedicated to gluten-free stuff, or? Yeah. Amisha says I have my mom's waffle iron from when I was a kid, circa 1964. It makes 4 square waffles and the griddle's reverse to make panini. My mom kept her waffle iron for a very long time too, and the recipe that came with it is really nice. I gotta find that recipe again. Haven't had a panini in ages. I should make one soon. Chicken, pesto, goat cheese, sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, I'm jealous. If I could eat cheese, that's absolutely the kind of combo that I would do in there. Oh man. Or switch it up and have fresh basil and sun-dried tomato pesto. Oh, that's really fun, Alex. So you guys kept the D21 for everything. Oh man. I'm always a bit stuck. Well, I guess if I could eat dairy pesto wouldn't be a problem, but the place where I get food, they don't have necessarily stock of everything all the time. So sometimes they're out of the vegan basil pesto, and other times they're out of the vegan sun-dried tomato pesto. So you gotta be crafty sometimes. Oh man, waffles make great breakfast. Just put berries and yogurt and muesli. But maple syrup, dude. My top list of toppings is maple syrup because and then if maple syrup is not available, blasphemy, but Nutella. So yeah, if one is allergic to nuts, Nutella is not an option, definitely. They make dark chocolate spreads, but they don't taste that awesome, which is so disappointing. Like, how can you mess this up? I guess chocolate chips would be nice though. Though, I mean, yours sounds super healthy, Cyan, so that might be for the best. What I like of waffles the most, I think, is that if you make a batch, you can freeze them and they fit so nicely in a toaster. So you can toast waffles to reheat them. And I think that's brilliant. I don't know what I would do without a toaster, guys. Ah, that's nice. I love this. Ah, that's so cool. I found a surprise 1.3 kilogram jar of maple syrup. Wait, what? Dang, that's a nice surprise you left for yourself. Maple syrup is top tier breakfast magic. I know. It's good in oatmeal too. So like if you're like, oh, I don't want to make waffles and I feel like I should eat something a bit more healthy, you make oatmeal and you dump maple syrup in there. And cinnamon and done. Maple syrup is not common in Finland and I'm probably allergic to it. Oh no, really? What's the compound of maple syrup you think you're allergic to? My favorite toppings for pancakes and waffles is fruit syrups or jellies. Pesto is fairly easy to make. I used to make vegan variant just without the cheese. Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, it's hard to acquire a good quantity of basil at a good price. That's the only thing that makes like making pesto homemade a bit more complex. And I would make the sun-dried tomato one if I could, but I don't have a food processor that's strong enough to make a good like chopping job for the sun-dried tomatoes. Tell me about it. My toaster is broken and Ontario is locked down. Oh no! What about Amazon? This is a crisis. You're allowed to to get something from Amazon or I don't know, Best Buy. Oh my gosh, I would like I had a toaster that I absolutely adored, but eventually it gave up. So we had to buy a new one and it was a crisis. I forgot I had it. It came in a honey-like jar, so I mistook it for honey. Dude, nice. I have a confession. I've never had a waffle. I know. How could I possibly live like this? How come you never had a waffle? Sometimes it pays to dig in the back of the cabinet. Definitely. Lee, did you go jackpot? I need to get a curbside pickup at Canadian Tire soon. Going nuts. Oh, man. Seriously. The maple part, since I'm allergic to many tree pollens. Well, it's made from the sap, so I don't know if it has pollen in it. And it's picked up in the spring when things start thawing, so I don't think the maple trees have had time to bloom, to have leaves yet. That is true. I have basil in the yard during the summer, so I make a ton. Yeah, if I could grow basil, I would definitely have my own. I like making pesto. Like if it's possible, you try to add an avocado in there and a bit less oil, and it's a nice creamy texture. It's super good. Yeah, the tree sap, that's it. Maple syrup is made from the tree sap. Excellent. Well, 2 toasters, that's useful, Lindsay. Our kettle died 3 days into the... Oh my gosh, I think that would be another crisis. My poor kettle. I'm trying to avoid Amazon currently, so I'm trying to support anyone local. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. But there's a few options. You have Canadian Tire, you have... well, maybe Best Buy is not much better, but it's not Amazon, so... yeah, I know Costco can do deliveries. I've not had a good experience with them, but I know they do it. I'm gonna make some sweetbread today with condensed milk. Ooh. No idea. I guess they're not just that popular. That's so peculiar. Well, you know, if you ever travel to a place that has waffles as a specialty, you will have to try them then. So you're saving up your first experience of waffles for what will hopefully be a good one. The buds are usually just bursting on the trees during sap season, not in flower, but just coming up. Yeah. It's sap, and it is specifically collected in early spring when it is below 0 at night and above 0 during daytime. It's also boiled extensively, so I don't know if that's the issue. Like honey is not boiled. Honey, you basically just filter it and ta-da, like it's not cooked. But the tree sap The maple syrup, the tree sap is boiled down to a syrup. That's a lot of boiling. When I used to grow basil, I would freeze it with some olive oil to make pesto afterward. Ooh. And it keeps beautiful. Oh, man. But Ellen says, no kettle is absolutely unacceptable. I can make toast on the stove, but tea, I need tea. You can boil water on the stove too, though. I mean, it's a hassle, but it's better than going without tea. I also found a jar of frozen homemade basil pesto in my freezer. Dude, double jackpot. It's worth maybe doing a bit of research on maple syrup, Cyan, because yeah, it's possibly something you can enjoy, and it's really good. So if you can enjoy it, I think you would appreciate it. But yeah, it should be fairly limited in pollen, as opposed to honey. Like honey is basically a result of processing pollen, so it's like the opposite. I mean, I laugh. It's not funny. It sounds like a really annoying allergy, but the one thing I like to freeze is bread, because it keeps a lot better than leaving it outside or putting it in the fridge. Fridge is the absolute worst, and you can leave it outside for perhaps a day, but after that it dries really fast. Well, yeah, we made stovetop tea coffee for a week before we got our hands on a replacement kettle, but I am allergic to tree pollen and the maple syrup is fine. Ooh. Yeah, honey is basically made from the bees processing pollen, I think. As long as I'm not the one collecting the sap. So I guess going to the sugar shack is not exactly your cup of tea, Lindsay. I love the sugar shack experience. The part that I really don't like is that there's usually so many people there. Like even in normal times, pre this whole freaking nightmare, still was too many people. There's too many of you, go home. Yeah, honey is bee spit and pollen. It's bee vomit, technically. I once found a full jar of Ben & Jerry's ice cream in my freezer. It was absolutely the best find ever since I had that. Oh, wow. Dang. That's super fortunate. I managed to do exposure therapy with unpasteurized local honey that still had the pollen in it. I haven't had an issue with seasonal allergies since. I do not recommend this. I was a stupid teenager. Oh my gosh. There's also birch syrup made the same way as maple syrup. Yeah. It's still a delicacy style type of item, but I've seen a few I have no idea what's the word in English for I think it's acériculture in French, the culture of maple trees for maple syrup. There are drinks made with birch syrup. Is birch the tree that gave us aspirin? Willow, I think. Oh, you're right. It's willow. Yeah. Did birch give us anything? Between that and the landscaping job, I can pretty much roll in ragweed now. Oh my gosh. Why is it that ragweed, like pollen allergies, they get worse as you get older? Like, what's up with that? It's not exactly enjoyable. Birch paper? Canoes? Oh yeah, okay, cool. I think I'm severely allergic to birch. Gotta stay away from that syrup then. Yup. When we were looking at properties in Quebec a while back, one of the most promising was a 72-acre maple syrup farm. Oh my goodness. Oh man. I don't know if you've had that experience, Lee, or any other Canadian in there, but to visit a sugar shack that still has the really old vats for boiling down the sap, like the wooden ones, like even if they're not boiling anything at the moment, you get in there and it smells like maple syrup and it's amazing. I just have odd allergies, like I'm suddenly allergic to cats, and I have dog and had bunny like 7 years. Huh. My dad has Native American teeth art on birch bark. Ooh. Oh, that poor guy, Dominic. Oh. Yeah. Ugh. What should I mix? I am not looking forward to going on a walk later today. So much snow. Oh, has it stopped snowing? Ah, no, it's still snowing. What? Yeah, some of the local Mennonite farm are still on buckets. To be honest, we're not even sure the place we browsed even have active tap, just maple woods. Oh yeah, but I mean, it's lovely. Like any kind of forest or kind of trees. Trees are nice. Ah, the buckets. That's awesome. With the taps that you have to hammer in. What are they on now? Is it like a system of pipes going from one tree to the next? Also, never drink maple sap directly from the bucket because it can make you sick. I know people can develop impromptu allergies if they're irritated by something a lot. Kind of like how if you get stung by bees a lot, it could trigger an allergy. That's how I got allergic to penicillin. Tubing usually. Aw. But that's boring. I understand it though. It was a great deal, like 140K for an old farmhouse and some outbuildings on 72 acres of Maplewood with river access. Whoa. What was the issue with it, though? Because, I mean, you didn't end up picking it, so... Yeah, my uncle's neighbor still runs a sap and gets him to help out every so often. It's a good reason to keep some trees up on a farm property other than to prevent erosion. Yeah, and because trees are great. Can we stop cutting off trees, please? Ah, I'm so bummed out. There's a local park where they're planning to do some extensive work on the park, like update the installations and all of that. And they've cut so many old trees, like big ones, and it just breaks my heart. I hate seeing that. Oh, man. I might have told this story before, but there was a big old oak tree on my parents' front lawn back when I lived with both of them. Well, anyway. And it was really big and fairly old. And I remember getting home from college once, and I turned in the street and I noticed right away that something is off. And then I just see it, and the tree has been cut. And I sat down in the stairs, and I must have cried for like a really long time. I was so sad. Trees are lit. They are. I mean, they make me feel sick too a bit, but I still love them. Well, we're not really ready to move out of the city for another 5 years. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Agreed. I really dislike how much deforestation has happened. Seriously, what's up? What's up with that? Like, over here too, they're like, oh, we're gonna install more playthings for the kids. And I'm like, you guys better have a plan to replant some trees at the end of this, because I'm gonna be really mad at you, city management. That's sort of the issue with living in the cities. It's like they kind of focus a lot of things on families and all that, but there's a few of us old grumpy grumps that kind of want some place of greenery in the middle of the city just to refocus on things, and they kind of make the places with trees really man-made rather than have this more natural feeling or something like that. That is like my Animal Crossing island full of trees. It's like dense forest. I had that for the longest time on Animal Crossing, but they kept telling me that, oh, well, the villagers complained that there might be a bit too many trees on your island. I was like, what? No way. Did you hear that they saved the oldest tree in Toronto? No, I did not. I'm so glad. What a relief. When did trees themselves stop becoming play areas for the kids? I don't know. It's like there's not enough trees to be really engaging. And they have like some installation like slides and all that, but they're kind of old and they want to revamp them, and I'm like, Blah. I'm afraid I'm going to have to take down the tree in front of my house. Oh no! It's been hit by lightning a second time. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a different circumstances. And I don't know what's your plan once the tree is removed, but if you plan on planting a smaller tree in its place, that's good too. Like, that's what my dad did. When they cut down the tree on the front lawn. Like, it was not my parents' decision to cut the tree, because officially the tree was on the neighbor's front lawn. Like, if you look at the way the space was split, legally it was on his front lawn. So my dad, it was an old oak, so it would lose a lot of acorns and grow a lot of baby oaks in the spring, you know. So my dad found one of those small oak and planted it almost in the same place as the old tree, but on our side of the property, so that another tree grows there, but we get to decide what happens with it. I hate my villagers, they're all ducks and chickens. I had to kind of use Animal Crossing amiibo cards to get a bunch of cat villagers in my village because I was so fed up with getting the ugliest villagers ever. Like, I'm sure they did it on purpose. They sent me the most nonsensical stuff in that game. Fruit trees. I think if I had some space to plant trees, I would plant... Oh, wait. What's the word? I have no idea what's the name of the tree, but it's a tree that makes small red fruits that are edible, and they have like proportionally they have a really big seed in the middle. And we had one at a house we lived in for like 2 months once, and it was always full of crows because the crows really enjoyed eating the fruits, and they would caw, and we would look at the floor just under the tree, and it would be littered with the seeds. Like the crow, no, not plums, it's a really teeny tiny thing. It would be the size of a big-ish blueberry. We call them Maries in French. Not cherry, that's cerise. Not crabapple. Hold on. Let's Google it. Merise. Merise, I think. Merise. No, not Meredith Grey. What? Merise fruit. Was that it? Marie's fruit in English. They kind of show me pictures, but they're a bit big. And they kind of look like cherries, and that's not exactly... They don't have the big pit in them. And it was not Cameries, nope. Griotte? It was really like sour or bitter. And it's a really small, teeny tiny thing. Yeah, it kind of look. So check this out. Can I just view the picture? Anyway, oh, okay, cool. So I don't know if you guys can see, you have cherries. That's in groseille. That's a blackberry, I guess. You have raspberry, blueberry, strawberry, and this. This was what was sort of in the tray, as far as I can remember. It's been a long time. It's been 30 years, so. And it has kind of a really thin layer of flesh and a big pit in the middle. I'm trying to think of it. The property I used to work on had one. I can't remember the common name. Lingonberry? What do they say about this? Cerise griotte. Yeah, that's super unhelpful. Thank you, website. Jeebus. A currant is a grape. It was not a, it will grow on a vine, not on a tree. Chokecherry. A bitterberry, that would fit. Yeah, it is like a chokecherry. I think you found it, Lindsay. Is it Lindsay? Yeah. Kind of had the look of a chokecherry or a bitterberry because it was super bitter. Let me check the chokecherry pit. Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was a chokecherry. Definitely, I remember those bits. Huh. Interesting. So yeah, all that to say, I would plant chokecherry trees just to get crows, a bunch of crows in there. And it's in the plum family. Ooh, plums are delicious. Have you guys ever tried making applesauce and you put some plums in there? Whoa, it's next world. Yeah, sour cherries is what we call griotte in French. But I think they're a bit bigger than choke cherries. Choke cherries are really like not that big. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. I do love crab apples too. They're not related at all. They're apples, but to eat crab apples like straight up, it's so sour. It's so good. Gooseberries are always bitter and scary until you beat them. What are gooseberries? When I get my big patch of woods, I'll plant all the fruits. Yes, please. When you get your big patch of wood, I'll learn how to drive and I'll go help you. What are gooseberries? Gooseberry. Oh, wait. Why does it show me like ground cherries or physalis? Those taste like really nasty. Gooseberry are what we call groseille. They're a shrub too. They make great jelly. Yeah, my mom used to do gelée de groseille. Yeah, that's a groseille. You have red and you have green gooseberries. What was the other one? Cloudberry. Cloudberry. Ah, these are cute. They look like bloated yellow raspberries. Or yellow cherries if you grew them in a net. Yeah, some people call physalis Cape gooseberry. But usually gooseberries calls it. Yeah, definitely. I was so disappointed the one time I tried to eat a physalis, and I apologize in advance, but it to me it tasted exactly like vomit. And I was so disappointed because I was like, what is going on? Why is this so terrible? Yes, it's gelée de groseille is so delicious. I haven't had that in so many years. When we were young, we called those berries little watermelons. Aw. What do you do with cloudberries? Oh yeah, they kind of look like clouds. Yeah, I'm so sharp. I think we often call physalis Chinese lanterns too. They're related to raspberries, similar use. Okay, cool. Do they taste sweet? Do they taste a bit more bitter? Fresh eating jams dessert. Another one we have is argousier. Trying to think of the name of that in English. It's an orange berry that grows in a tree. Baie d'argousier. Cloudberries taste really different from raspberries. Bitter taste. Oh! We're revisiting our berries today. Argousier. Rowan? Well, it says sea buckthorn. Yeah, it says sea buckthorn. It's it looks so silly. Look at this tree. Look at how silly this tree is. Hold on. I'm technologically disabled. Okay. How silly is that? But that's not the one I'm thinking though. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of a different one too. I thought that was argousier, but I guess it's not. Because it seems like this one, the fruit grow on the branches. But the one I'm thinking of has like clusters of orange fruits in the tree. So rowan, you said. I'll have to check rowan. Rowan tree. Yeah, that's the one. Yep. Now, what is that in French, though? Rowan. Yeah. It's a big tree. Oh, sorbier. That's what they call it. Yeah. It looks really nice because it is so full of fruits. Well, this is a really terrible picture, but from afar, it's like a tree that's both green and orange at the same time. And everybody is gone. They're talking about trees. What is this live stream? There is a new one that's quite trendy too. It's called Cameries. Thank you for staying, even if we're sort of down the rabbit hole of berry trees. Learning something, get quiet when I'm thinking. Oh, does Arctic bramble? Hold on. Caturday Livestream. Aw. I should draw berries shaped like cat. Bramble. Arctic bramble. Ooh. Arctic raspberry. Oh, it's lovely. Arctic and, well, they probably grow it up north. Look at it. It's Rubus arcticus. It says the Arctic bramble or Arctic raspberry. is a species of slow-growing bramble belonging to the rose family, found in Arctic and alpine regions in the northern hemisphere. Its dark red fruit is considered a delicacy. Yeah, I'm too far south as well. It looks amazing though. Don't let me. Can I show? Look at it. It's like a plumpy raspberry. I was trying to figure out what camerise is in English. It's like an elongated blueberry. Oh, geez, what? Okay. Haskap, scientifically known as Lonicera caerulea L, or commonly known as northern blue honeysuckle, edible honeysuckle, honeyberries, or camerise in French. Haskap, that's such a fun name. Low bush cranberries? If you had the Karima album, what is that? Karima album. No, I don't think I've seen that. The Portuguese crowberry. Isn't that like the best name for a berry ever? I think we might have some sort of crowberry growing in northern Canada as well. Sounds like a north of 60 kind of thing. Canadians saying they're too far south. Yeah. They grow in beaches. Oh, really? That's so cool. On my maple syrup farm, I'll grow all the northern fruits outdoors and all the more delicate things in a high tunnel all the way to subtropical. Ooh. Let's check out crowberries. Crowberry. Ah, they're great. There are some in they grow really up north as well. But they're, instead of being white, they're really dark blue. Black crowberry. Man, berries are so cool. Will you plant gooseberry? And make gooseberry jelly. I have gooseberry on my little urban plot already. Oh, great! I love how that shrub looks. I don't know why, I just love it. Oh, thank you. Ah, that sounds so cool. My mom would grow gooseberry and rhubarb next to each other. Rhubarb is a really funky plant as it grows up. I'm hungry now. Dang, I could do with some delicious jam. Or applesauce. Alright, time to mix everything in my palette together. Hey Alex, hi! Gooseberries, we have bushes that grow wild in our woods. Dude, that sounds awesome. For both parts. The fact that you have gooseberry bushes that grow there and the fact that you have a wood. Where can I get one of those? Rhubarb chutney. The thing I think my mom would do with rhubarb would be jam. Yeah, often strawberry rhubarb, but sometimes just rhubarb, and it's so like bitter, sour or something. The one thing that kept a particularly difficult chef happy at one place I worked was the steady supply of antique rhubarb I brought in. Oh man, that sounds amazing. Rhubarb is so funny. It's like a pink celery. Like just not the whole feet of celery, just one of the branches. Rhubarb, strawberry rhubarb pie. Yeah, the pie too, the jam. My great grandma made pies. My family wasn't big on pie, sadly. The rhubarb chutney is a lot like Branston pickles. Oh no, I have no idea what that is either. But yeah, we used to call it pink celery. Yeah, same. I would always be a bit stumped, like when mom would bring in the rhubarb and she would chop away the leaf. Like as a kid, I thought the part that you would eat was the leaf, like you would a salad or something. We just do rhubarb with some sugar to make a topping for ice cream or baked food. Ooh. Dang. My great uncle would eat it right off the plant like celery. Oh, really? What does it taste like when you eat it like that? Oh my god, too bitter for me. Oh no. I did that with my mom's garden when I was a toddler. I would pick up my own carrots from the garden and she'd have to make me wash them out, like remove the mud from it. Because I would just like grab and a carrot and be good to go. And mom was like, no, wait. You have to rinse off the the crunchy bits. Like sour apple almost, but celery-ish in texture. Ooh. Sounds interesting. Also, I'm sad I missed so much of the stream. I love. Aw, it's okay. You can always rewatch it like on 2 times the speed or on mute if you just want to see the swatches. But yeah, that's one of the palettes I have that I feel like I neglect too much. I really like that I put these 2 bundles of colors together, and it's a palette of 12 colors, so that's nice and lovely. But I don't use them nearly enough, so swatching them I think is really good because it sort of gives me an idea for the kind of mood you can make with this palette. And then when you have a painting idea or something, you can go like, oh yeah, remember this palette. This would work really great. Really great. Blech. My cousin made comical faces but would go back for another piece. Sorry. My mom used to send us out to snack from the pea patch as kids when we wanted a snack. Yeah! Oh man, green peas that are uncooked and straight up from the plant, they're so good. Also beans, like string beans. Back then we lived in areas that had more like lawn real estate. Like if I lived here, here I have no space to plant anything, but I think if I could plant things, it would mostly be herbs because they are low maintenance somewhat, and I could plant catnip for the cats. Let's move the swamp water a bit. Bring these in. If it's new shoots, all the ones get tougher and more bitter. I used to disappear. My parents would find me in the garden eating anything I could find. Oh no. And says, I find the newer varieties tend to be sweeter but have thinner stalks in our clay soil. Oh, interesting. Do you still grow the antique rhubarb that you mentioned? I miss fresh veggies so much. Since moving to the city, I've only been able to have a few plant pots on my balcony. Oh, that's better than nothing. What did you get to grow? I know a few of the really common stuff is string beans because they're so easy to grow. But what else? Ma never would make me eat frozen peas as a kid. She knew they were gross compared to fresh. But frozen peas are still better than tinned peas. Like canned peas are are such a disgrace to peas. Like poor peas, they deserve better. Usually raspberries, carrots, and peas. Oh, sounds amazing. I used to give my boys a bowl, a fork, and a bottle of salad dressing and send them to the garden. Potable outdoor tap. Oh, that's great. That's gotta be so delicious. You cannot have anything more fresh than that. Herbs are great because you can dry them and use them in the winter, as well as fresh from the garden in the summer. And you can also freeze them sometimes. A few herbs are much more interesting frozen than dried. Like, I really love thyme, but for some obscure reason, most of the dry thyme I eat, to me, it tastes like mildew. But fresh thyme is amazing. We're hoping to build a home ourselves, but we might bootstrap with prospector's tent, then cabin, which can then be used for guests. Ooh, that's a great idea. Mostly tomatoes, usually 2 different kinds and lots of herbs and chives. Ooh, that's like a meal on its own. Like the tomato, well, I don't eat tomatoes, but I can conceive of a meal that's like fresh tomatoes, fresh herbs, a bit of olive oil, balsamic vinegar, and bread. You're onto something. My first garden as a kid included pumpkins, whose vines... That sounds amazing. That's like the Charlie Brown movie. Ew, canned peas. Oh, I know. Yep, we have a patch of the old kind. It has died off twice, but since it propagated so much, we have passed it around and managed to start it again by getting some back. Oh, nice. There were 3 kinds of leaf lettuce, spinach, thyme, oregano, and cherry tomatoes out there. Oh, dang. Fresh rosemary. That's amazing. And it's such a cute little, like, plant too. I'm hungry now. No. The place where I buy groceries from, they still offer herbs in the winter, and they come with little soil, like a tiny compostable pot of soil, and they have their roots. If I had room for them, I could probably replant them in something, but you can keep them in the fridge for a really long time if you put them in a container, like just the bottom, and you put a bit of water in there, and you put a Ziploc bag on top. And they keep for a long time, which is amazing. Speaking of food, I should probably go start on the pizza for tonight. Ooh, yes, pizza. Tomatoes and basil from the balcony and a fresh mozzarella. Oh, yeah. I would eat that for dinner every night when I lived in the woods and we had gardens. Oh, dang. Rosemary is adorable as a plant, isn't it? It's like a teeny tiny evergreen tree. I also planted 1 row of corn, which isn't enough to successfully pollinate. Aw, that's a bummer though. Corn is good. Hey, Lise! It's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna head out soon too. Thank you for being here, Ellen. It's really nice to hear from you. We missed you. Take care. Bye bye. I grew a 6x6 block of corn. Did you get some crabs? Surprisingly successful. Ooh! Dude, that's gotta be amazing corn. Lettuce and spinach. Such a great thing to grow. I think it grows super fast too, so you can eat up the salad and it doesn't take that much time to regrow another one. And I think you can keep like the roots or just leave them there and it's gonna grow again. There's a few plants like that you can sort of keep going forever, like green onions. Lettuce goes bitter quick. Oh, really? What makes it bitter? Is it because that's the kind of the issue I have with purchasing lettuces, is that I find it too bitter. If you're telling me that there's a way to have lettuce that is not bitter, I'm all ears. Six by six is the recommended backyard plot of sweet corn. We grow a lot of corn in Indiana. Oh, really? Apparently, if you plant spinach just before the first frost comes up again in the early spring. Oh, really? Ooh. While growing it, take care to stay on top of it, as if it grows too long, it gets bitter. Chives are great for that. We've had the same patch of chives with my mom. Yeah. My mom had that too, like the never-ending patch of chives. Though it's kind of fun to let them go to flowers every once in a while, because the chives flower is so cute. One that is really, really nice if you can grow it and have it fresh is cucumber. So April says, I have a rosemary Okay, start over. I have a rosemary bush in a pot that I bring in every autumn and take outside every spring. It's in a west-facing window, and every night when I pull the drapes closed, the smell is unbelievable. It smells so good. It's such a great smell. There's not enough things that smells that smell of rosemary out there. Love chives flower. I use them to decorate food when they bloom. Yeah, they're edible. How awesome is that? Oh yeah, nasturtiums are delicious. They're so peppery. I overwintered rosemary last year, but then killed the bush. Oh no, what happened? I was surprised to see that, hold on, let me, wow, talk about not knowing the word for something. So you have watercress, but you also have a type of cress that doesn't grow in water, right? Deux variétés de cress. It's like garden cress. But it tastes just like nasturtiums. Nasturtiums, sorry. Oh my gosh. Yes. Nasturtiums, my mom could barely keep them as a kid because I would eat them all the time. I think I did that too. I just had a really low energy spell and didn't water it or humidify it. Oh, well, that happens. Yeah. Lettuce gets bitter when it bolts, goes to seed. You can keep them from thing by keeping the tops picked. Huh. I've got a 4-foot dwarf lime tree in a pot that I bring in for the winter. Oh, you get little limes in the winter. The leaves of all these citrus trees, the leaves smell so good. Nasturtium's leaves are the perfect size for sandwich. And they're pretty. They're so pretty. But yeah, it tastes just like garden cress. Like this peppery taste. Maybe we should have a plant and garden channel on the on the Discord for when things start growing again in the spring. That could be fun. I don't know how many of you guys grow stuff, but it's always enjoyable to see pictures of gardens. I have a kaffir lime. That was French. Kaffir lime, which seems to be surviving my living. Ooh, that's great. I've heard nasturtiums called peppercress. Oh, really? That would track. Perhaps what I ate was like a really, really young nasturtiums. Yes, the lime tree is more than a decade old and fruits all year. Oh, that's fortunate. Sounds amazing. Limes are so, so good. Oh, I can't imagine having a fresh lime. I'm always a bit baffled when people who live in really different locales talk about, like, a bit like when I saw a documentary once on California, and it was a bit about how it was a real struggle to find living quarters that were affordable. So some people had to live from their cars. It was a serious topic, but they would mention some of the tricks they could like pull off to live this way. And one of the tricks featured was to get citrus fruits from the trees that are planted along the streets. And I went like, wait, what? Okay, sure, awesome. That's really cool. Like that you can walk down the street and in the like the space that belongs technically to the city, it's a grapefruit tree that grows there or an orange tree, and you can sort of grab a fruit and okay, hold on. We unfortunately lost our garden area when my grandparents moved. My parents' house doesn't have much for a yard. Yeah, that's the most difficult part of it. I want to try kaffir. What's the difference between regular lime and kaffir lime? I think I'm going to add a couple more citrus to see. Ooh. Really? My favorite edible flower turned out to have carcinogens. What? What? You wouldn't think. It's so often attached to processed food. Not often do we hear about Hey, bye Trisha, thank you so much for being here. Enjoy baking your sweet bread. It sounds amazing. Kaffir lime is mostly used for the leaves, which go in Thai curries. Ooh, yummy. Oh my god, all I can find is about cannabis. It does also have fruits, but they're not as juicy or prolific as other limes. You gotta plant a yuzu tree. Like let's turn up the challenge to 12 right away. Okay, flowers you can eat. Alliums, nasturtiums, marigolds, pansies, and Johnny jump ups. What? Calendula, anise, hyssop, honeysuckle, scarlet runner beans. Wait, what? More items. Give me more. No? I am planning on buying a kaffir lime tree. Also, since I'm so late to the stream, which paints are these? Oh, these are Winsor and Newton. The one is the Jewel limited edition release, and the other one is the Desert limited edition release. My yuzu hasn't shed any more leaves this week. Yay! You can do it, little yuzu. We believe in you. Hold on. Are those miracles? I thought those were pansies. Oh, they're Johnny jump ups. Okay. Honeysuckle, scarlet runner beans, barrage, bee balm, chamomile, daylily, mint, squash blossoms. Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of squash blossoms deep fried, like in tempura. That's a fair point, Sally. Sally says cannabis seems to come up in one of every two Google searches these days, even if your topic has nothing to do with it. That's very true. Usually one of my favorite citrus. Yeah, we are many yuzu fan in here. It's such a tasty citrus. It's so good that sometimes it makes me consider getting stuff that I know I don't like. Like, I saw there's a carbonated beverage that's yuzu flavored, and I saw yuzu and I was like, oh man! And then I saw it was carbonated, and I really pondered like, can I go through with the carbonation just for the sake of tasting the yuzu? But yeah, oh man, it's so good. There's not enough things that are flavored with yuzu. All right, guys. I guess I'll start the close down sequence. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. It was super fun, and I enjoy you guys around while I was watching, and we always talk about such great things. And as always, if you're not familiar with the Discord we have, it's a chatting platform where there's a bunch of channels, and each channel has a theme, so you can join in certain conversations and you can ignore others if that's your thing. It's completely free, it's relatively easy to use, and if you have any questions, there's a lot of people over there who can help. The link is in the description. And yeah, if you're not on there already, feel free to join. Everybody is welcome. And yeah, big thank you to everyone again. You can use a milk foaming whisk to quickly decarbonate. Oh, but doesn't it like goes everywhere? Honestly, I'm confused by people who drink sparkling water. I know. Oh, it's okay, Lise. Thank you so much for showing up. And thanks a lot, guys, again. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will see each other next week. So take care, stay sane, stay safe, and see y'all next time.